Good morning, everyone. Hello, my audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. In today's lecture, we will study different kind of statement, like what are input-output statement, what are the sequential statement, decision-making statement, looping statement, menu-driven statement. So in today's lecture, we will study different kind of the statement what we use in our C programming. Today's agenda is there is an introduction for basic IO input output statement in C programming, and what are the basic functions, and what are the control specifications, and what is format specifier, and what are the different type of instructions and data manipulation instructions. After learning input-output statement, you can make a very interactive C program. You can ask from the user, input this, print this. Basically, you can have an interaction with machine and outside the user. Now, what do you mean by an input? Input means you have to feed the data, you have to input the data, you have to enter the data from the keyboard. Okay. You can declare data as in the last lecture I have told you. You can initialize it, but again that becomes a constant value. But when you input value from the keyboard from outside the program becomes more interactive and more user friendly. Input means you can feed the data from outside the program. And output means you need a monitor or a device. You want to see the output on the output device. You can use output instruction. Now, what is an instruction? Instruction is a task which is given to a computer to perform some specific actions. To perform some specific actions. In C programming language, we use IO operation. They are included in stdio.h header files. Stdio stands for standard input output dot. S stands for header files, which is included above the main functions. So it includes input output functions. For output function, we use printf statement. For input function, we use scanf statement. So printf is used for outputting formatted data to the console. In printf statement, there are two ways to use a printf statement. One is control specification, then followed by parameters. Another is scanf input function. It is followed by again control specification, then list of arguments. Formatted, there are two types of formatted functions, input and output. For input, you use scanf statement, scanf function, and for output, you use printf statement. For input, there are some other function are also. One is getChar. GetChar, get means to retrieve data from the keyboard, to input data from keyboard. Char means single character. If you want to enter a single character, even you can use scanf statement also, but there is one more function. GetChar is also available for inputting a single character from the keyboard. You can use scanf as well as getChar also. Same here, we have putChar function also. Even you can use printf for writing, for printing a single character on the monitor. But you also have one more function for writing, for printing a character on the monitor, on the screen. It is putChar function. And then again, we have getters and putters function. Char stands for character. It takes only a single character. S stands for string. Getters. If you want to enter more than one character from the keyboard, you can use scanf as well as getters function also. Same here. For putters, you want to write, you want to see the output, you want to display the output on the monitor. You can use printf as well as putter statement for printing string also. So as I have told you, in scanf function, we use first we use format specification, then it followed by the list of arguments, matching argument. So what are the format specifier we use? As you know, what are there are the different data types we use in C language, like int, short, long, float, long, double, char. So for these specifications, we use format specifications. Like for integer, we use percentage D or percentage I. We can use either D or I. For character, we can use percentage C. For double, we can use percentage LF. Long float also, it is called long float or double. And for float, we can specify percentage f. F stands for float, and then short integer. For short integer, you can write down percentage HD. For long integer, for long you use L. For integer, you use I or D. For short, you use H. For integer, you can use I or D. So you can add it for short, you can add H character, and for int, you can add I or D. Same here for long. For long, you use percentage, and for integer, you can use either D or I. So you can say LI, HD. Unsigned integer. What is unsigned integer? You cannot print unsigned integer by using percentage C. Unsigned integer we were studying in pointers. Basically, they are the address of memory location, so that you cannot retrieve it from by using percentage C. So there is a special specification for retrieving address. It is percentage U. U stand for unsigned number. It's unsigned int. And if there is a address, a long address, then you can say percentage LU, unsigned long int. Why it is called unsigned number? Because in integer you can have plus, minus, signed, unsigned, both are number. But address is always an unsigned number. So that's why we write down, that's why we call it unsigned number or unsigned int or unsigned long int. Same here, long int. For int, for long you can use L, so there are we are using 2 times log to, for 2 times you have to write down L, and for integer either you can use I or D. Again, for unsigned long int, for unsigned you use U, long for you use LL, so it becomes percentage LLU. Long double. For long double, you can write for long, even you can use capital percentage L. For long double, you can use in caps lock LF. For long only, you can use caps L also. For double, you use percentage capital L F. For character, it is percentage C, signed or unsigned, you use percentage C. Now, as now we come to know what are the input-output statement. Now, for input, we use different kind of function. We can use scanf, we can use getChar, we can use getS. For output, we can use printf, we can use putS, we can use putchar. As I think you must be aware now, what is instruction? Instruction are the commands that instruct C compiler to perform some actions. When we write a C program, so we are instructing the compiler, we are telling the compiler that to do a task for us. So instructions, there are different type of instruction you will study. One is you will study sequential statements. A sequential statement means the flow of the control will be one after another in sequence. There are different kind of the instruction you can do. There are the different kind of the instruction you can give the compiler if you want to perform arithmetic instruction. You can use arithmetic operator like plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, etc. Now, you know what is program? A program is a set of instructions. So what are the basic component of the program? So basically, when you make a C program, you need these three basic types of instruction. One is declaration. First, you have to declare the variable. And then if you want to perform an arithmetic instruction, you have to use arithmetic operators. And then there are the control instruction. Control instruction means if you want to control the execution of the flow of the program, you can use control instructions. First time, how data type instructions are declared. As you know, we have a different type of data types. One is primitive and another is derived, and a third type is user-defined data type. Primitive is primary. They are inbuilt, predefined. You cannot change the meaning of these data types. You cannot use them. You cannot use them as an identifier. These are the keywords. So how it is declared, data type and then variable name, and after once you finish it, put semicolon. So what are the primitive primary data types? Primary data types in C. These are int, float, void, double, char. Char takes only a single character, int takes whole number, float takes decimal number, double also take decimal number. The precision of double is double as compared to float. Void represent nothing of type. So how variables are declared, data type and then variable name. As you know, there is rules for declaring a variable. The first letter must be an alphabet or underscore. No special symbol is allowed. Only underscores, alphabet and digits are allowed. So any identifier can begin either with alphabet or underscore, and no special symbol is allowed. So whenever you want to use a variable in a statement, first it needs to be declared. Otherwise, it will give you syntactical error, compilation error. So declaration is always done at the beginning of the main program. So how variable is declared? Data type, variable name. For example, in this slides, you have different type of variable. Where int, var1, int, var2, int sum. There are three variables, where int var1, int var2, int sum. And the data type of all the three variable is int. And there is another variable, float average, whose data type is float. Means in the above three variables, int var1, int var2, int sum, you can store only whole number. For float average, you can store only decimal. So this is the way how variables are declared. First, you have to write down data type and then variable name. If there are more than one variable of same data type, you can separate with them commas. So you can use a single statement. So there are arithmetic instructions. Arithmetic instruction means you are giving the instruction to the compiler to perform some arithmetic operations. What are the arithmetic operations? Plus is used for additions, and the operator is this plus operator, this one. And then there is minus. Minus, it is used to perform subtraction. This is asterisk sign. This is used for multiplication. Slash, this is used for division. Division is if you want to store the quotient, like if you divide 5, divide by 2. So you will get 2 2s are 4. Quotient would be 2. So it will store 2. Modulus. Modulus stands for remainder. Like if you 5 modulus 2, so when you divide 5 by 2, the quotient would be 2 and the remainder would be 1. So if you want to store remainder, you have to use modulus. If you want to store quotient, you have to use slash. There is no operator for power. For power, if you want to use power, so you have to use POW power function, which is included in math.h library. So whenever you want to use power function, for power function, you have to include math.h header file, and math.h header file, you have POW power function. But in C, there is no power operator. So these were the arithmetic statement and how variables are declared, declaration statement. Next, we will study control instructions. Now, what are the control instructions? Control instructions See, the earlier statements were the arithmetic statements, you can and declaration statement. Now there are different kind of control instruction. You want to control your C program. You want to control the flow of execution of your C program. So you can use different kind of the control instruction. So there are four types of control instruction. One is sequence control instruction. What is sequence control instructions? Sequence control instructions means the way you have written the way you have written your program, that way it will be executed. Means the statements will be executed in sequence one after another. So that is called sequence control instructions. The flow will be in a sequential manner, one after another. Then there is selection or decision control instruction. For selection, if you want to make a decision, so they are called selection or decision instruction. For sequential or decision instruction, you will use if switch statement, if and switch statement. You will use if construct and switch construct. You want to change the flow of control either from this direction or that direction, so you have to use selection or decision making instruction. Like for example, you are inputting a number, you want to check whether it is even or odd. You want to check whether an year is leap year or not. You want to take a decision when you want to compare two number, three number, which is largest, find the maximum value, find the minimum value. So when you want to take a decision, you have to include selection or decision kind of instructions. Then there is one more type that is called repetitions or loop control instruction. When you want to execute the same instruction multiple times, instead of rewriting the same instruction again and again, what we do, we put that statement in a loop statement. So means when you want to perform same task in multiple times, we use looping statement. So in C, we have three types of looping statement: for loop, while loop, do while loop. Case control instruction, basically they are used for if there are multiple decisions, you want to select any one of them. Basically, you can use case control instruction for menu design also. So in C, we have switch statement for case control, for using case control instructions. Based on your decisions, you can select any set of the instructions what you have mentioned it, that is called case control instruction. So in C, for case control instruction, we have a switch construct. Next is data manipulation instructions. Now, what is data manipulation instructions? Data manipulation instructions means whenever you store the data, either they are stored in registers or memory. The content will be stored either in registers or memory. The data manipulation instruction basically perform operation on data. If you want to manipulate it, if you want to change it, if you want to make any modifications on the data, you use data manipulation instructions. So, data manipulation instruction, you can divide into three parts. One is arithmetic, another is logical and bit manipulation instruction, third is shift instruction. Arithmetic instruction, for arithmetic instruction, you have seen you can use, you want to add, you want to subtract, multiply, divide, you want to see the remainder, you want to find the quotient, you can use arithmetic operators. For logical, if you want to use compound condition, like there are two conditions, you want to connect them, you want to add them, so you use logical operators. And bit manipulation instruction is, since your data is stored in binary form, so if you want to manipulate that binary data, so you use bit manipulation operators. Shift instruction, you want to change the data left from left wise, right wise, or circular wise. So you can use shift instructions. See, these are the arithmetic statement. C provide standard arithmetic operator. You cannot change the meaning of these operators. These are the predefined operators. If there is an asterisk operator, so asterisk means it can use only for multiplication. You cannot change the meaning of these operator as per your requirement. So see, here we have two variables A and B. A variable A is initialized with 5 and variable B is initialized with 3. So we have given an initial value to variable A and B. A is holding value 5, B is holding value 3, and there is one more variable, it is C. We want to manipulate A and B and we want to store the result on C. So that C will be written as left. If you say A plus B equal to C, so that statement would be wrong. The variable where you want to store the result, that will come on left side. And you are using equal. Equal is an assignment operator. You are assigning the result of A plus B to variable C. So here is 5, B is 3. So 5 plus 3, it would be 8, and then the result will store in C. 5, A minus B, here is 5, B is 3, so 5 minus 3, it would be 2. For multiplication, 5 into 3, it would be 15. For division, 5 divided by 3. The quotient would be 1, 3 1 cha, and remainder would be 2. So C would store a quotient, so it would be 1. Because it takes integer division, it doesn't take a fraction value. 1 point, it would not take it. It slash store only a integer value, whole number. So these are the arithmetic instruction. For arithmetic instruction, you can use arithmetic operators. In C, we have a bitwise operator for data manipulation. It is used at bit level, means binary level. So these operators can be applied only for integer data type. For example, if you have int A5, B3, then this is bitwise AND operator. This ampersand sign represents bitwise AND operator. Now, what is AND operator? If you are aware, what is AND operator? In bitwise AND operator, if both the value of A and B 1 1, the result would be 1. If it is 1 0 0 1 0 0, the result would be 0. So when you convert 5 into binary number and B and 3 into binary number, and then you put AND operator, the result would be 1. Same, this is OR operator, this is pipeline operator, pipeline. This is used for bitwise OR operator. So in bitwise OR operator, how would it work? If A and B both are 1, then result would be 1. If A is 0, B is 1, again result would be 1. If A is 1, B is 0, result would be 1. It means when both A and B are 0, then only it is 0, otherwise the result would be 1. When both A and B are 0, then result would be 0, otherwise result would be 1. So this is in AND operator. When both A and B are 1, then only the result would be 1, otherwise 0. In OR operator, when both A and B are 0, it is 0, otherwise it is 1. So this is A XOR B, this cap operator. This is used for bitwise XOR operator. In XOR operator, when both A and B are either in the set of 0, 1 or 1, 0, the result would be 1. When both A and B are of same type, means 0, 0, 1, 1, result would be 0. This is complement. Complement, what does it do? It converts 1 to 0 and 0 to 1. And this is left shift. Suppose you have a 5-digit, 6-digit, 8-digit data and you want to shift to left from left onwards by 1 bit, so you use left shift operator. And this is right shift operator if you want to shift your data by 1 byte from by 1 bit from right, not byte, by 1 bit from right, so you can use right shift operator. So these are the operators we manipulate on integers number at binary level, at machine level. Then there are shift operators, shift instruction you can use for shifting your data. For shifting for shift, you can use logical shift right, as such for shift R for right. Shift left, arithmetic shift right, arithmetic shift left, rotate right, rotate right through carry, rotate left through carry. These are the operators you can use on bitwise operators. At low level, machine level, you can use these kind of the operators. Next is flow control instruction. Now, what is flow control instruction? If you want to control the flow of your C program, you can use flow control instruction. If you want to take a decision, whether you want to take a decision or you want to repeat a task. So in C, as I have told you, we have a sequence flow, decision-making flow, repetitions, case statement. So look at the syntax of the flow control instruction. One is conditional statement. So in conditional statement, if you want to perform, if you want to execute a block of code, block of code means maybe there is one instruction or maybe there is a set of instructions that is called block of code for a particular condition, for a specific condition. So you can use conditional statement. In conditional statement, one is you can use simple if, or another is you can use nested if also. So what is the syntax for if statement? Here suppose if in parenthesis you put a condition, then this beginning of the if block, and this is end of if statement, and this is the block of statement. Block of statement could be one or more than one, but it is always good practice. If there is one statement, you don't need this opening and closing braces. But if there are multiple statements, then it is required. So it is always a good practice, even if it is single statement or multi-statement, all statements should be put in opening and closing braces in this block. So here you want to take a decision. Here X is a variable. It is initialized by 5. Here you are checking if you're checking the condition. If X greater than 3, printf X is greater than 3. So here X is 5, 5 greater than 3. This greater than is a relational operator, comparison operator, comparing the two numbers, which is largest. So 5 is greater than 3. So this condition is true. If this condition is true, so this statement will be executed. X is greater than 5. Suppose if this condition is false, so it won't enter it here. So it will skip it, it will come to the next statement. So this way, conditional statement works. Now next is if-else statement. If-else statement means if you want to take a decision, if this condition is true, so do this. Otherwise, if it is false, so do other block. So for that, we use else clause. So how does it work? If, then conditions. Then if this condition is true, then this block will be executed. If it is false, then else block will be executed. So see, if you are comparing here x, if x is more than 5, so this it will print x is greater than 5. If x is not greater than 5, then it will print x is less than or equal to 5. So if you want to take a decision after false condition, so control will goes to the else block. So in this way, the conditional statement works. If condition, if followed by condition, if the condition is true, this block will be executed. Otherwise is being false. Then else block will be executed. But next, we have looping statement. We have loop statement. Now, what is loop statement? As I have told you, loop statement, when you want to repeat the same statement in multiple times, instead of rewriting the same statement again and again, we prefer looping statement because it is not a good practice to write the same statement. If you want to perform 100 times a task, so it's not a good practice to write the same statement 100 times, to repeat the statement 100 times. We can use loop statement. C permits three types of loop. One is for loop, another is while loop, third is do while. What is the difference? Why do we use three kind of these loop statements? See, for looping statement, you need three types of instruction. One is beginning of the loop, where the loop starts. Another is end statement, termination of the loop statement. And third is loop counter. Third is loop counter statement. In while loop, in do while loop, I will explain you how would we use these three instructions, where would place them in the while loop, do while loop, and in for loop. Generally, when we know in advance how many times you want to execute a loop, we use for loop. While loop, when we do not know in advance how many times we have to execute a task, we prefer while loop. Do while loop, and there is a difference between while loop and do while loop. While loop is called entry loop, do while loop is called exit loop. In while loop, when the condition is true, then only the body of the loop will be executed. But in do while loop, it is called exit loop. Even if the condition is false, the loop will exit at least once, because in do while loop, we test the condition at the end of the loop. So first it executed, then it checked the condition. So that's why while loop is called entry loop, do while loop is called exit loop. While loop, if the condition is false, it would not execute, not at all, 0 times. But do while loop, even if the condition is false, it will execute at least once. So there are three types of the loops available. You will see, you will learn the syntax of all the three loops in the practical class also. So we have for loop, we have while loop, we have do while. Then we have case statement. This is called switch statement. For case statement, when you have a multiple decision and you want to execute you want to select any one of the block, so you use switch statement. So switch statement code will be executed based on the value of variable or expression. For this, we use a syntax switch And this x is a variable, or you can say it is your choice variable. It will hold a value. When this value match, then it will enter into the switch block and it will execute any one of the block as the condition match. So x is a variable, or you can say it's a choice variable. So syntax for switch statement, switch, and then variable, beginning of the switch statement, end of the switch statement. Here we have a case, like it could be one, two, it could be any character also, you can use operator also, anything you can use, any expression also. So this is the matching variable, matching statement, matching case. Like suppose if you are inputting a value of in variable x, 2, so it will enter into the switch block, so it will match here. If choice is 2, then it will execute this block, and after executing this block, we have a break statement, so we will come out from the switch statement. So when you want to exit from the block after case statement, we use break statement. So break means termination of the block state, termination of the specific block. So you use break statement for termination of specific choice block statement. If you want to come out from and you will study, you will have these are the jump statement or control statement. We use break, continue, go to statement. If break statement always use inside a loop, if you want to terminate a loop for a specific condition, so we use break statement inside loop also, and we use break statement in switch also. When you want to come out from a specific block, so you use break statement. If you do not put here break statement, if your choice is 2, so it will execute the next, it will enter into the next block also. So that's why if you want to come out from that block, we use break statement. If your choice variable doesn't match with case statement, then it will enter into the default statement. If your choice is not 1 and 2, if it is 3, 4, 5, then it will come to the then it will come to the default statement, and this it will execute this block, and then it will come out from the switch block. See, how does it work? This is the flowchart. In flowcharts, we have a symbols, like this is decision-making symbol. For decision-making symbol, we use this rhombus. So for if this is a switch block, if the choice is 1, so this block will be executed, and then you will come out from here. And if choice 2, then this block will be executed. If choice is something else, 1 or 2, then it will come to the default statement. After default would be the last statement. After executing it, so you will come out from the switch block. So this way switch statement works. Now see, look at these are the statements. If you want to change, if you want to come out from a loop, if you want to change the behavior of your loop, you use break and continue statement. Break, if you want to come out from the loop, we use break statement. And if you want to skip a specific action in a loop, we use continue statement. How it works? Break. See, look at here. Break means you have come out from the loop. Continue means you will skip the specific condition, but still the loop will works. So how break and continue statements are used inside a loop? Break and continue is always used inside a loop. Inside a loop means for loop, while loop, do while loop. If you are using with without loop, so it won't work. Break, continue won't work if you are using without loop. So this is must break and continue must be used inside a loop state. Inside loop. Suppose in this program, how it would work. See, you are executing a loop. See, this way the loop works. The syntax for loop is for. In for loop, we have three statements. One is initialization of the loop statement, another is termination of the loop statement, and third is loop counter. So you are initializing your variable I with 0, and it is testing I less than 10, and then I plus plus. This is an increment operator. Plus plus is an increment operator. The loop will be increased by 1 in each and every steps. I plus plus means I plus plus means I equal to I plus 1. So this loop will start from 0, and how long it will execute until I less than 10 means I 9. So here in the loop you are testing if I, this is double equal, this is a comparison operator. So this is the difference between equal and double equal operator. Equal operator is called assignment operator. Double equal is called comparison operator. So in if statement, when you want to compare it, so you use comparison operator. If I is 5, then you will come out from the loop. So what does it mean? It means this loop, how long this loop works? When I 0, it works because it will check I 0 equal to 5. No. When I becomes 1, then I becomes 1. Again it works. I2, again it works. I3, again it works. I4 works. I5, 5 equal to 5, break. You will come out from the loop. If there is so after loop, if this is a statement, so the control will come to the if loop. So break means to exit loop, to exit from a loop when the conditions successfully match. So then next is continue statement. Continue is always used inside a loop, right? If you want to skip a specific action, you use a continue. Otherwise, the loop will continue, means loop will execute it. In break, after 5, loop will not work. Means 6, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it won't work. Once I becomes 5, loop will be terminated. But in continue, it does not happen. In continue, the loop will continue. Loop will continue works until I becomes 10. I becomes 10. Only it will skip a specific action when I becomes 3. Like say, suppose for in this loop, if I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Here, I is 0, initial value of I is 0. 0 equal to 3, no. I1, I2, for I0, 1, 2. So this code will be executed. When I become 3, so this action will be skipped. This action will be skipped. Then when I become 4, this statement will execute it to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this code will be executed. This code will be executed only when I becomes 3. So this condition will be skipped. But the loop will completely run, will completely execute for continue statement. But for break, loop will works only for 0 to 5. So this is the basic difference for break and continue statement. This is all about today's. This is all about today's lecture. You have seen slides how looping statements are used. What are the looping statements? What are the decision making statement? What are the IO functions? What are control specifications for different data types? What are the basic IO functions? Printf and scanner. And what are the control specifications? For int, we use in percentage B or I. For float, we use F. For long, we use L. For character, we use percentage C. For unsigned number, we use percentage U. Can we take queries? If there is any problem or any issue regarding today lecture, so you can ask. Yes, bitwise operators, as you have seen, bitwise operator, these are represented by ampersand sign. Ampersand sign is used for AND. What do you mean by AND bitwise operator? They are applied on the binary bits. Binary bits means 0 and 1, 0 and 1. So 0 and 1 for AND operation. If suppose in A we have 1 1 0 0, in B we have 0 0 1 1. The result would be 0 because 0 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 0. If A and B both are the 1, then the result would be only 1. Yes. Sir, mentioned as in your slides, you can refer any book there are various authors for C language. You have Yashwant Kanekkar's, let us say, Balaguru Swami. There are various Danish races. So it is mentioned in your curriculum. You can refer any one. Of. 'Em. Yes, we can put condition in if else else if also. In switch, we cannot put conditions. In switch, how does it works? It works. In switch, we have a variable, right? So variable is a choice variable which takes value. It doesn't take conditions. So you cannot mark the if in switch. You cannot use it. Any more doubt? Everyone got it? What kind of the statement you have studied, like selection statement? What does it mean? If else, what does it mean? Printf, scanf. Why do we use printf, scanf? Why we use arithmetic operator? You will use relational operator also. Less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, not equal to. You will use logical operator, and or not. And you will use nested loop also. A loop inside a loop is called nested loop. You will use nested if inside if is called nested if. Nested loop example we will study in the next lecture. When you want to perform like matrix kind of operations, row type table manipulations, so we use nested loops. Maybe in practical class, you might have nested loop examples. Any more doubt? Is there anyone who has a doubt?